Hi, my name is Gabby Turner. Welcome to this pick a card reading in which we're going to be asking, would living together with this person, a romantic person of interest on your mind, would it be a good idea? What would it be like? So if you're considering that or just kind of curious what it would be like to be in a living together situation with your romantic interest or the person you're in a relationship with or dating or whatever it happens to be. That's what we're going to be talking about today. We've got three options. Option number one is represented by Goddess Hel, H-E-L. It's a little bit hard to see the L on this card, but that's this first option here. And then option number two is Oba. And then option number three is Gaia. So the goddesses' names will be listed below with the timestamps. So once you've decided which reading or readings are calling out to you, you can just use those timestamps below and also check out the information on personal readings while you're down there. And I'll see you at your reading. Hello, group one. You chose Goddess Hel, H-E-L, and it says rebirth. I don't know much about this goddess, but anyway, it's still a cool card. So let's go ahead and see regarding you and your person of interest. What would it be like living together with them in a domestic situation? Like the two of you are together and living together. Like what's the living together part like? Okay. So I'm getting their energy is the Ace of Pentacles. The shared energy is the Ten of Wands. And then your energy is the Ten of Pentacles. I feel like there's a little bit of a difference here between the two of you because it's like almost like you're wanting your environment to be perfect. Like your home environment, like you're striving for the best with this Ten of Pentacles. I don't know, like maybe you're just wanting things to be decorated really well, or you want to live in the nicest house or apartment or whatever possible. Like you want things to be looking good. And I feel like with the Ace of Pentacles, they're comfortable with a lot less. Like they're not as motivated or focused. So I do feel like this, like they're just like, well, we've got a couch and a blanket or whatever, like they're just okay with the basics, and you're wanting like far more than the basics. So we do have the full card clarifying. Yeah, it's like they get to a place of feeling like they've achieved success in the way that they want their home to set up and their living environment to be set up. And you feel excited because you're like, oh, we're moving in together. Like this is like a clean slate. Let's start from new and like build it all to the top. Like, I don't know. It's just a difference here between your mindsets. You're wanting more. You're wanting growth, progress, and like things to be looking real great. Like magazine level. From this Ten of Pentacles, it's giving like you want your home to be looking like a magazine or like worthy of being in a magazine. I don't think that they necessarily have a problem with you wanting that. I just, they might even like what you're doing with the living environment. It's just like not their focus as much. We do have the Ten of Wands here, which could indicate that this is a point of strife between the two of you to some degree, although right off the bat, it's not feeling like it's bothering them necessarily, but to what degree is this a point of strife? What's this Ten of Wands telling us? I think it's maybe just the communication of those differences of opinions. Like, could be making, like you're wanting to talk about it more. Like, oh, what should we do? Like, should we paint these walls such and such color? Or like, what should we do with the kitchen? Like you're excited and wanting to talk about it. And they're just like not having a lot of feedback because it's not all that interesting to them. So it's not like it's a great burden like that's going to break the two of you up. It's just a burden in the sense of like a normal couple difference, I guess, like having different interests. Yeah, but I mean, I do sense stability between the two of you. I feel like you would get along, it's not like the way that they want things to be set up it's not like they're like upset. Like if you decide to hang certain curtains, they're going to be like, oh my God, I can't live with those curtains. No, they're totally okay with whatever you want to do. It's just they don't really have that get up and go to like be picking out curtains themselves. This is what I'm feeling. You know, they're like, whatever. I mean, curtains are curtains. You know, it doesn't matter to me. Okay, so what else about the two of these guys living together? Group 1 and their person of interest. I feel like you are probably, or would probably be the one more likely to, for one thing, like be at home more. Like I kind of feel like your person would be out of the house more, like being active, maybe being with their friends. And it's interesting that this is giving me friend vibes with the 5 of Wands, but like sometimes friends have a little bit of a competitive spirit. It's making me think of like someone going out to like shoot hoops or play basketball, do something competitive with friends that is fun. And I think that you are like more like, oh, let me get home. Like as soon as you're off work, you're wanting to get home and like get cozy or cook some good food or something like that. And then we have the 5 of Swords in between. I kind of feel like this, strangely enough, it works for both of you because it's like allowing both of you, the way that the 5 of Swords is represented in this specific deck is almost like in a way letting off steam, or like, what's the word? Well, we'll just say letting off steam, or like, I don't know. Like it's nice for both of you to be having your own worlds. You know, you don't feel tied at the hip to me. It gives a sense, like, I feel like there's a sense of security here. Like you're at home, like doing your thing, happy to be home. And you have this sense of like, well, they'll be home, you know, like shortly. They'll be home when they're home. And they will, you know, like, I don't think that they're doing anything sneaky behind your back, but they're just like, I do feel like they like to get out and have activities and do things with friends. Okay. What else would it be like living together? I do feel like you both would like it. I mean, we've got great cards here. We have the Justice card. I feel like you view it as being like ideal. Like this is an ideal situation. And maybe even though like they may not share your interest in like home decorating or whatever that was at the beginning, or like choosing the exact right house or the exact right apartment, or like making sure things are like very magazine-esque, you know, up to your standards. It works. Like the Justice card is often like showing compatibility, you know, like the fact that they are like happy and pleased with what you're doing, despite the fact they don't have their own input, is like, that works for you, because then you get to basically design things the way that you want. And we have the shared energy as the 3 of Cups, and then their energy is the Star card. So it feels to both of you like this is about wish fulfillment. It is like their wish fulfillment to have this domestic living together situation with you. And the 3 of Cups is just like, I do feel, clarified by the 6 of Cups, it is giving me maybe an interest in like the living together part would make the two of you maybe be interested in expanding your family, like having a baby if you don't already when you live together. Like it does make, it sort of like naturally lends itself to like, oh, the next step seems to be that. Yeah, so that's what I'm feeling. Is there anything else that group 1 needs to know about this specific question of living together? Well, I do feel, you know, you might have certain ways that you like to do things. The Temperance card reversed is showing that you might be sort of set in your ways, because upright Temperance is very open to people doing things in different ways. And, you know, when you're living together, people do have different ways of doing things, right? Like this is the way to load the dishwasher, or this is the blah, 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 blah. You know, like people do things different ways. I think you, because the Temperance card is reversed, representing you, you might have very specific ideas. Okay, this is how we fold towels. This is the only way a towel should ever be folded, you know? And like, I feel like they're willing to hear you out. Like it might be new to them, some of the ways that you prefer to set up your house or do things at home may not be how they normally do it, but I do feel like they're willing to meet you halfway with that. Like I do feel a very strong compromising. This person's willing to compromise. They're willing to, like, you know, make you happy because they're just happy there to be with you. Again, this is their wish fulfillment, so they're like more than willing to be accommodating. So yeah, I mean, this is a very compatible living together situation, I would say. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the reading and getting the full message. I hope that it was helpful, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Okay, group 2, you chose Goddess Oba, and it says domesticity. Let's see if that plays out in the reading or not, but those cover cards are not intended to necessarily give insight into the content of the reading, but it's possible that they might line up with it. Okay. So if you were to be in a living together situation with your romantic person of interest, what would that be like for the two of you? Okay. Well, I think you would love it. You are showing up here as the World card. It's like end goals. It's like, oh my God, my life is complete. This is amazing. Their energy is the Princess of Wands and the Prince rather of Wands. And this Prince is looking in the other direction. So I don't know. I don't think, it's not that they're unhappy to be living with you, but it's like they're kind of more focused on whatever it is they're doing when they're outside of the house, whether that's work or like going out to do fun activities. But like I don't know. So I'm going to look deeper into that. Like, so how is this person of interest, how are they feeling about being at home? Are they happy to be at home? They are happy to be at home. But it's like, almost like the grass is always greener, because it's like they do want to come home when it's time to come home, but then when they are home, they want to get out. There's a very kind of fussy energy here of, I want to be home, but I want to get out. I want to be home, but I want to get out. Like this person is really having a hard time just feeling settled. And I don't know if it's about you. Is it about you, group 2, or is it something else? I don't think it is because of you. I feel like this is a sort of restless, this is just someone with a lot of restless energy in general. And so I think that the reason this is coming up is just so you can be aware of it. Like living with someone who has this sort of restlessness, you know, like I want to leave the house. I want to come home. I want to leave the, you know, it's like that could potentially be just something to be aware of, you know, like you're showing up here as the World card, so you seem pretty satisfied regardless, but living with them seems to be what you definitely want, but they are sort of a restless person, like in and out type of thing. Okay, so we have the Devil card as the shared energy for the two of you, and I'm just going to try to understand more what that's meaning, because the Devil card can mean a lot of different things. Okay, so we're pointing to the material aspects, the Devil being an Earth card related to the sign of Capricorn, which is the 3rd Earth sign. We've got the Princess of Pentacles, the 7 of Pentacles, and the 2 of Cups. So I feel like the Devil card is saying, I mean, living together helps the two of you grow your love for each other. It's like you do fall more in love with each other and the attraction develops more fully. It's making me feel like of a full-bodied wine, or like a wine that's been aged nicely. You know what I mean? Like The living together is a nice environment for the love and the attraction for you all to grow even more than where it is. And it does feel, with all of this earth energy here, that that is kind of how it is for the two of you. So if you're afraid of like, well, is this as strong as our love is going to get, or at some point is it going to start going in reverse and we'll fall out of love? I don't think so. I do feel like this is a love that develops more fully with every passing year. And I think that for the two of you, living together actually helps to cement your love and that sort of emotional security and just a feeling of security. Sharing the same space as well makes you feel close to each other in a way where you can kind of lean into it and open your hearts more. Yeah, there's a lot of love. Yeah, we have the Strength card, and again, more of this Pentacles energy with the Prince of Pentacles. This is a love that becomes stronger and stronger over time, and it's not to say that it's not already strong. I'm just saying, like, again, you know, like, think of like these really expensive wines. I'm not a wine person, but there's some like really expensive wine out there, and usually it's wine that, you know, it's made of like high quality ingredients and blah blah blah. I don't know a lot about wine, but also like it has to develop, you know, like for a long time, for many years. And so it starts off good. Like if you drank one of those wines in the beginning, it would still taste damn good, you know what I'm saying? But it's going to taste even better as time goes on. So that's the feeling that I get for the two of you. And living together, again, it does seem to facilitate that process very well, of the love growing in strength. Tell me more about the two of them living together, group 2 and their person. I feel like the two of you have really great conversations. Yeah, like I think that you enjoy having conversations. I was asking more about this Ace of Swords, why it's reversed, because upright it's about bringing clarity. I feel like that's part of how the love develops between the two of you. The conversations that the two of you have, I mean, you could be talking about anything. You can be like, what did you do today? Like, what was your day like? You know, like, oh, you know, like, what did you have for lunch at work or whatever, you know, like just keeping up with each other, light conversations. But what it feels like to me is no matter the content of the conversation, that's why this Ace of Swords is reversed. Like what you're actually talking about is not as important as the bond it creates. It's like when the two of you are talking, there is such an exchange of love. So you could really be talking about anything, but like the energy that's going back and forth between the two of you is just love. Like, oh, you know, it's like, I'm asking you about this because I love and care about you. And that is obvious to both parties, you know. There's just so much love present. And but you do have good conversations. It's just like the topic of conversation is not as important as the love that is exchanged, because that love is so beautiful. This is a really lovely, I love this energy, you guys. This is really nice. Okay, anything more for group 2 to know? I think that there might be a bit of a difference between the two of you in perhaps what you're doing for a living or what you're doing to earn money. I do feel like you're both contributing equally to the household financially. It feels like it's about equal, which is an important thing to consider. You know, like when you're living with someone, you got to know like how the finances are going to be. The finances didn't come up in group 1, but it's coming up for you too. And this is positive. It's just something to note. It does seem that you're both contributing equally, but I think that the way that you go about getting money might be different or something. Like your energy is the Wheel of Fortune, and that could be either there's a less of a traditional way of earning money. Like maybe you're making money through investing or taking risks on starting businesses, or the Wheel of Fortune can be sort of like the marketing of a business as well, because like with marketing, you never know exactly how it's going to take off. Is the marketing going to work or not? But this is about taking risks, making money, but it's a process of taking risks. It could even be something like real estate, where, like sometimes you might make more money than other times. The money is up and down, right? There's not like a constant steadiness. It does feel to me that they're probably in some sort of job or career where the money is more steady with this King of Pentacles in reverse. Their kind of like base pay or whatever might be lower than yours, but it is more steady. Whereas yours, it's like maybe one month you would be making a lot and the next month not as much. And so it sort of balances out to the point where you're both kind of basically contributing equally. And even if it's not equal exactly in the exact amount, you're both contributing equally in some sense. You would both feel like this is fair. We're both contributing our fair share. I feel like both of you feel good about the contributions that each person is making. But yeah, they are making probably more like a regular salary or wage, where like they know from week to week, month to month what's going to come in. With you, it feels like it could be more up and down. And sometimes when you watch these readings, the energy can be reversed. But I think the most important takeaway from that part of it is just to say you both are going to feel blessed and happy by the fact that you have someone who is equally contributing and making sure that the financial aspect of living together works, of living your lives. It feels balanced. It feels fair. Okay. Anything else for group 2 to know? This is very positive. I mean, it feels very good to me. Okay. So yeah, I'm getting mostly reversed cards, so that's signaling to me that we're at the end of the reading. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Okay, group 3, you chose Goddess Gaia. It says connection to nature. We'll see. I was telling the other group, I don't pick these cards for them to give you an idea of what's going to be in the reading, because I don't even know what's going to be in the reading until I start pulling cards. But it is just to help guide you to the correct reading. Sometimes we can think that the answer is something, and it ends up being something different. So however these cards are helping to guide you, that's my intent, is that they do hopefully help to guide you in combination with your own intuitive skills. But let's see what it's going to be like living with the person on your mind, your person of interest. Well, it's looking good so far. Your energy is the 10 of Cups. The shared energy is the Ace of Cups. So there's a lot of love here. And then their energy is the Queen of Pentacles. It feels very comfortable. I feel like the person that you're thinking of, living with them would be nice, because there's someone who's very good at domestic things. Taking care of. The Queen of Pentacles is like good at cooking, good at cleaning, good at landscaping, like just good at those types of things. And it just feels like there's a lot of domestic bliss here with all of these Cups cards, which signify lots of love. So it's a very loving environment. And I think that you are feeling the love through the care that group 3 takes in making the house look nice. The cooking, the cleaning, the decorating, hostessing, right? Even if you have other people over, I would say your person of interest is very good about making sure everyone has what they need and is comfortable and satisfied. So that's a nice place to start. So far, all of these readings have been positive, so that's nice. I do feel like for you, it's almost a little bit like they're taking on more of the responsibilities in an adult sense, and almost like letting you be the child in a way. Like, you know how when you're a kid, you don't have to think about like, you know, what are we going to make sure that we have on hand for food, or like, what are we going to eat every day, or, you know, where do we put the couch? You know what I mean? Like, kids are just enjoying it, right? Like, well, this is where the couch is, and now I'm going to go jump on it. You know what I mean? Or I'm going to go outside and run around in the yard. I don't know. I feel like, because they're coming through as this Queen of Swords, it's like they could be a lot more in charge of just the quote-unquote adulting aspect of living together. So maybe that's taking care of making sure the rent or the mortgage is paid, like making sure that the house is furnished and that there is food in the fridge and in the pantry and stuff like this. Yeah, I think in this case, the Five of Wands is not indicating that there's conflict between the two of you. It's more so indicating that you're kind of both bringing to the table what it is that makes you happiest. Like, this is just a dynamic where like they are happiest taking care of these sort of quote unquote adulting aspects of it, and you are happiest just like enjoying being adored and cherished in that way, like happy to be cared for. Like, oh, it's nice. I don't have to worry about whether or not the mortgage is getting paid because I know you are, you know. And it's like, oh, the lawn needs mowed. Well, I know you're going to make sure either that it gets mowed or you're going to hire someone to mow it. It's like they're really taking charge of things. It's very interesting. I do also feel like this is also a situation. There's a lot of love here, and I think that the both of you are very mindful and conscientious, because we have the shared energy as the Empress. You're very mindful and conscientious and thoughtful of each other's needs within this home environment. And it makes you both feel loved and cared for. I think you in particular, group 3, you're coming through as the Hanged Man. So it's like maybe you have a place in the house or apartment or wherever you're living for you to just, it makes me think of like a library or an office, like a place that's just for you to kind of think or maybe read or ponder or something like that. Like you need your little reading nook, or right, like library or office, because it's like you need a place to kind of quietly think. This is a very thinky energy, but it's like a deep thoughtfulness, contemplating, and kind of needing my space to do that. It could even be a place out in the yard, like a nice little place out in the yard where you can kind of meditate or read or whatever it happens to be. But I feel like you both kind of love each other in the sense of giving each other space to have the lifestyle that you need. I think on their end, they allow you to have this alone time, like they respect your need for that. But they also love to have togetherness, so that's what they need, and you give that to them. You give them that loving togetherness with this King of Cups and the Lover's card. So that's like cuddling, kissing, like talking, spending time together. Like they need that togetherness with you. And I feel like what they understand about you is that in order for you to be able to have the energy to give that to them, you do need your own space and time, like for the contemplation and reading, whatever it is, like I've already said. It's like it gives you more to talk about, and it gives you more energy to devote to them when you do have these moments of togetherness. So there's a good balance of the togetherness and then each of you kind of like vibing in your own energy. Yeah, but they do look forward to when you come out of your little shell and spend time with them. What else to know here? Now, I do want to say, I do see you as being someone who is hardworking in your own sense. Like I did say at the beginning, like they are doing a lot of the adulting in terms of keeping up the house in some kind of way. But you're coming through as the 10 of Wands, so you're definitely contributing a lot here as well, and they would agree with that. Like they're not looking at you as some sort of freeloader. Like they know that you are working hard to contribute here as well. It's just maybe in a different kind of way somehow. They do feel like, for one thing, you put a lot of effort into being very empathetic and like understanding them. Like you go out of your way to leave no stone unturned in trying to understand them and their needs, to the point that they don't even have to say it out loud. You just kind of get things. And that's helpful to this person, because a lot of times people are just not good at knowing how to articulate what's going on in their head and their heart. And I feel like your person of interest is one of those people. And so what they really appreciate is that you can really dig down deep and have such an intuitive understanding of them, and like kind of treat them with emotional kid gloves, right? They might be treating you like a kid in terms of taking on these adulting responsibilities with a mortgage and making sure the house is furnished and the pantry is full and stuff like this. But what you're doing is making sure that their emotional needs are properly met, even though they're not good at asking for what they need emotionally when they need it. Like you can just kind of pick up on that. So you both kind of parent each other in different sort of ways. They are parenting you more in that kind of material sense of making sure that you're provided for and that your needs are met, and that you have this material security, and you are parenting them in the sense of like making sure that they're okay emotionally at all times and attending to their emotional needs that maybe they don't even totally understand themselves. All right, interesting reading. So group 3, anything else for them to know here? All right, I'm getting all 3 cards reversed, so that's signaling to me that we are at the end of the reading. But I thought that was really intriguing. So, all right. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.